About a week ago, I finished my replay of Red Dead Redemption 2. Still a fucking fantastic game. Still managed to make me cry, and if you played the game, you know what I'm referring to. And most of you probably know this, but it is a very long, open-world game. Even if you straight shot the main story, you're still looking at about, I don't know, 35 to 40 hours of playtime. It probably took me a little bit longer than that to finish the game because I did side missions in between main ones. And then after Red Dead Redemption 2, I wanted to play Days Gone, another really long, open-world game. And I was playing it for a little bit, and then I was like, I am really not feeling this, because this is another game where if you straight shot the main story, you're still looking at about 30 plus hours of playtime. This doesn't mean that I wasn't having fun with the little I played, but after playing Red Dead Redemption 2, I was so fucking burnt out and I wanted to play something more simple and shorter. So then I dropped Days Gone and played Sackboy: A Big Adventure, a very cute, fun, and linear game. And while playing Sackboy, I was thinking, the video game industry may be oversaturated with open world games. I don't hate open world games at all, I love quite a few of them, but even for the open world games that I love, I still have to be in a certain mindset before I sit down and start playing them. Because I know that this is a game that's going to take up a lot of time, it's going to take at least a week to complete the main story, and I don't know if this is just me, but when I'm playing an open world game, especially at the beginning, I feel a little bit intimidated by the open world, because obviously it's so fucking big and there's so much to do, and sometimes it's difficult for me to choose what to do first, or what to do next. And that's why I've always preferred linear games. I've seen some people rag on linear games online and say, I don't like linear games that hold your hand. I love the freedom that comes with open world games. Well, one, you don't need to shit on games that don't fit your preference. That's just stupid and unfair. Two, you preferring open world games is fine. That's totally cool. Again, I've played quite a few open world games myself, and I like most of the open world games that I've played. But even after playing an open world game that I like, I still feel that sense of burnout, because it took me so goddamn long to complete. And I prefer linear games because they don't throw a million fucking things at you at once. There's one story that the player focuses on, and not a million different subplots that take the form of side quests. Sometimes I feel so overburdened from what an open world game throws at me. There's the main story, and then there's like 12 different side quests in between main story missions. And depending on the game, if you want to do things like upgrade your health, weapons, gear, etc., you kinda gotta wander around the open world aimlessly. Oh, but that promotes exploration. Yeah, sure, it's cool exploring a game's massive world, but sometimes I just want to play through the fucking story. But I can't, because as the story progresses, the enemies get stronger and the game gets harder, and eventually I'll be at a disadvantage for being so underpowered. So yeah, you can say non-open world games hold your hand all you fucking want, that'll just fall on deaf ears because I don't fucking care. I don't always want to sink my teeth into a game that'll take me an exorbitant amount of time to complete. And I'm sure there are many other people who feel the same way, because a good chunk of people who play video games are adults with full-time jobs. Not everyone has the time and energy to tackle huge open-world games, and in my case I have plenty of time on my hands, but even still I don't always have the energy to play a huge open-world game. Because a lot of open-world games overwhelm you with shit to do, and I don't always like that. I prefer games that set you on a straight path, there's one story to follow, and there's not a million other fucking things to do at once. But I feel like we're starting to see a decrease in appreciation for linear games, because these days, so many huge AAA releases are open world games. These are all games that consume a lot of time and energy, and it's so fucking overwhelming because we get one big AAA open world release, and then another one shortly after, and then another one shortly after, and then another one shortly after, and it's like fucking clockwork. If you enjoy these types of games, then fine, more power to you. Again, I myself enjoy some open world games, but in doses. But I have to actually be in the mood to play a big open world game, because these are not the types of games that I typically play, because like I said, they tend to to overwhelm the shit out of me. But remember, there is nothing wrong with shorter, linear games. I do not want them to become a dying breed, because not everything has to be this massive open world experience. Your huge open world may be beautiful to gawk at, but that should not be all that a video game has to bring to the table. That's all I have to say. Bye-bye.